Have you been training for weeks, and now you feel unsure right before your race? Do you feel like pushing harder, doing one last long run, or a tough session to gain confidence? Are your legs feeling weird, you're not sleeping well, or doubting whether you've done everything wrong? Be very careful. There's a silent mistake that sneaks in right at the end. A mistake even experienced runners make, and you won't see it coming until it's too late. Today you're going to understand why what you do in the final days can decide whether you cross the finish line strong or shattered. And yes, this mistake has a name, but almost no one fully understands it. Let's get into it. You've trained well, you've done the work, but just when there are only a few days left until your race, you're at the highest risk of throwing it all away. Why? Because you're entering a phase where your body needs rest, but your mind starts to sabotage you. Suddenly, doubts creep in. You wonder if you've trained enough, if maybe you should do a bit more, a longer run, a more intense session, a last-minute surprise workout to feel ready. Sound familiar? That impulse is normal. It happens to almost everyone, but it's a dangerous hidden enemy. It can lead you straight into overtraining right before your big challenge. And the worst part is, it's not obvious. There's no alarm, no sharp pain, just a weird fatigue, a drop in energy, heavy legs, poor sleep, even irritability. And when race day comes, your body doesn't respond. You're not fresh. You're not loose. You feel like you've already run before even starting. And that hurts. It hurts because all those weeks of effort, all that good work, can be sabotaged by just a few poorly managed days. That's why this part of the video is so important. Because the last days before a race are delicate. It's not about training more. It's about training smart. And now that you know this, let's talk about the first big mistake, pre-race panic syndrome. You're just a few days away from your race. Everything should be fine, but suddenly, something shifts. You start feeling anxious. You feel like you haven't done enough. You start thinking, what if I can't keep the pace? What if I fail? What if I should do one last long run, just to be sure? Welcome to pre-race panic syndrome. This is one of the most common and invisible mistakes, because it disguises itself as motivation. It convinces you that more is better, that you can still improve something in the last 5 days, that you need that one extra tough session, when in reality, what you need is to stop. This is where many runners fall into the trap. They're afraid of not being ready. And instead of trusting everything they've done over the past weeks, they do the worst possible thing. Push harder when they should be easing off. They do a long run 3 days before racing. They do tough intervals to test themselves. They extend workouts to feel confident. And without realizing it, they're wearing out their body right when it needs to recover the most. It's like charging a battery, and right before it hits 100%, you start using it to see if it works. And of course, it doesn't make it to race day fully charged. This fear is very human. It happens to all of us. But here's a key truth. You won't gain fitness in the last few days. You can only lose it. In this phase, your body needs to rest, regenerate, absorb all the work you've already done. And if you respect that, you'll show up fresh, fast, and strong. If not, you'll show up tired, blocked, and frustrated. It's that simple. Let's move on to the next key point. False progress that makes you believe more training always means better performance. That moment when you think you're improving, but in reality, you're slowly sinking. Ever been there? You do a tough session right before the race, and you think, that went great. I'm in top shape. But 2 days later you feel drained. You're not sleeping well. Heavy legs. You start doubting yourself. That's false progress. Your body hasn't gotten stronger. You're just at a peak of effort, not a peak of performance. And that can be a dangerous trap. Look, when you train hard, you break tissue, generate fatigue, deplete reserves. That's all part of the process. But real progress comes when you rest and recover. That's when the body overcompensates. It repairs what was damaged, strengthens what was weak, and adapts to be better. But if you don't give it that recovery time, you're just accumulating damage. You're not growing. You're wearing down. It's like trying to inflate a balloon while poking holes in it. There's no way it'll fill up. And the worst part is, this damage is silent. It doesn't hurt. You can't see it. but it's there, waiting to explode on race day. That's why so many runners get to the starting line and say, "I don't feel right. I don't know what's wrong." What's wrong is they confused effort with progress, and they mistook fatigue for confidence. The key is understanding this. In the final week before racing, more effort doesn't mean more improvement. What really makes the difference is the quality of your rest, your nutrition, your sleep, your mental calm. Want to show up strong? Then stop trying to improve at the last minute. Focus on absorbing everything you've already done. And if you get this right, you'll arrive with an incredible feeling, light, explosive, confident, ready to fly. Now let's look at what the smart ones do. How elite runners train in the days before racing. What do the runners who show up fresh, strong, and clear-minded do? Very simple. They don't train more, they train better. And above all, they do something that almost no one respects as they should: tapering. And what's that? It's a phase of reduced training where you cut volume but maintain pace and activation. Sounds easy, but it's not, because it takes confidence and control. While many are anxious, pushing, and overloading, the elites are unloading intelligently. They don't stop training, but they do less, with more rest between sessions. For example, an elite runner might reduce their training volume by 30 to 60% in the last 10 days. That means fewer kilometers, more rest, and shorter but focused workouts. And most importantly, no weird last-minute experiments. They don't do new intervals, they don't try unknown paces, they don't throw in heroic last runs. They stick to what they know. They trust what they've already built. And that allows them to show up on race day with a clean body, full of energy, and a calm mind. That's what makes the difference. Not a last-minute epic session, but weeks of well-assimilated work. And the best part is, you can do it too. You don't need to be a pro to apply these ideas. You just need to be clear about what you want. Do you want to show up tired from doing more? Or strong from doing it right? Now, let's get into the most practical part. The mini action plan, so you know exactly what to do in the days before your race. Now that you know what not to do, I'll tell you exactly what you should do in the final days before your big race. This isn't theory. It's pure practice. Write it down or memorize it, because it works. 7 days before the race. This is your last hard day. You can do a quality workout, but make it shorter than usual. For example, some intervals at race pace, but just a few. Or an easier long run with fewer kilometers than normal. Goal: activate without exhausting. And from here on out, the taper begins. 6 to 4 days before. Reduce your volume. Run for less time. Keep a bit of pace, but nothing demanding. Get good rest. Eat well. And above all, don't invent new workouts. This is the time to trust what you've already done. 3 days before. Very short workout. 15 to 30 minutes max, easy pace. Maybe 1 or 2 short pickups if you want to wake up, but nothing forced. Start focusing more on sleep and mental prep. Visualize the race. Prepare your gear. Organize your nutrition. 2 days before. You can go for a light jog for 15 minutes, or skip it entirely. That's fine. In fact, it might be the best option. More rest. A good dinner. Stay hydrated. This is where many people mess up. They want to do something extra, but you already did what you needed to do. Now it's about arriving fresh. 1 day before the race. If you feel like it, go for a walk or a short 10-minute jog, but only if your body asks for it. The focus is on mental rest. Disconnect, breathe, and repeat to yourself, "I'm ready. I've done the work. Now I just have to enjoy it." That's it. This plan is simple, but powerful. And the best part, it works. And now that all of this is clear, I'll leave you with one final message that can make a huge difference on race day. Your best race isn't one with the last training session. It's one with everything you did before and with the smart decision to respect your rest. In the final days, the key isn't to push harder, it's to trust. Trust your work. Respect your body. Take care of your mind. Because if you show up with loaded legs, a calm head, and a fresh body, you're going to fly. So tell me, have you ever felt that panic before a race? Have you trained too much in the final days? Drop a comment. Let's learn from each other. And if you want to keep improving as a runner, here's another video with the biggest mistakes before a half marathon. It'll help you a lot. See you there.